Some big positions to fill for Nealon and Volt, but still getting some victories while perpetually slept on.
Yeah, and talking of filling positions, I'm going to keep my eyes on Buster, see if he can have a good, strong individual performance, because of course he has got giant clown shoes to fill. I'm just talking about the size of them, not the occupation.
Honk honk.
Trying to play one, plug him into acoR's role 1-to-1. It's going to be a forward position in apartments for round 1.
Defensive smoke here from Perfecto on the jiggle, hoping he doesn't get overwhelmed. It is investigation out towards second mid. Hobbit calling it awful clear. Shiro not rotating just yet. So they might want to get a move on here. Perfecto has seen a little bit,
hasn't he? Yeah, gets his smoke down now. And that buys time for the rotation, unless they were to disrespect. Perfecto to punish if they tried.
Shiro has a flash here.
Yeah, good rotation through. Whoa, he's been caught out. Kios, he just cheats through the smoke. Finds Perfecto, and now they do start to swarm. They're spamming speculative bullets, but they haven't caught the boost. Need that from Volt back. Good one in to the head of Shiro. Kept him honest. As that bomb's now down, Nealon tucked into the pool, and with a man advantage, Electronics trying to rumble this post plant. Hobbits were disconnected on the retake, still miles away on Banana.
Feels like a country mile at this moment. It might even just be a wait and save for Hobbit. Not many Kevlar. What's he going to say?
Anything, yeah. Volt will likely have at least one on his plate as isak beats him to the punch and whittling away at Buster's health as well. Time is ticking. Hobbit's crawling. Now a 2-on-2. And if Nealon was to go down, yeah, rocks Hobbit's socks off. And they will close. GamerLegion start with a statement entrance into B.
Yeah, and simple stuff, right? Get control. You take down poor Perfecto in the smoke. That was thanks to Kios. And Nealon's goosh on a Hobbit. If there was a chance into that round, that was about it. But we got a bit of the Kazakh connection here today. Buster and Hobbit with Nealon on the other side.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And we like Nealon's specs. Been a Nealon fan for some time. He got sent over there to EG. And now he's on GamerLegion. So I'm sure he was more than happy with how that...
yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's not complaining. And the fact
that... it was from EG who were playing online CCT Cup in Europe. I think they lost a spirit. Actually, I know they lost a spirit, which makes a lot of sense.
Lost the donk.
Yes, the big donk. He slapped that one on the table. But Nealon now to go from the North American roster to an international team who are at the very first time here at IEM Cologne.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. It's a first for a few of these GamerLegion boys. Isak, Volt, and Nealon in attendance for their first.
And well, why don't we have this tech issue? We had acoR in the middle of the screen here. We have just sorted this one out. It's just a little bit of a PC issue, don't you worry. But acoR is going to be the man, right? He's going to be the one that you look to for the majority of impact here. Because I look at this GamerLegion roster, and I set the table on this situation. I say, you just had your promising in-game leader taken from Mouse, eliminated. You had your star player taken from Na'Vi for a premium price. Well, they still have one more shot at making it into the playoffs against Astralis later today. And you bring in Nealon, who I think Carrigan on HLTV confirmed, he said to me they stole actual defaults from EG because they were pretty good. So there's some props for Nealon there. And you bring in Volt from ITB, who now is flying the Romanian flag. We knew he had both. There's a few of us with both out there. But Volt to join the roster, and we spoke about Fnatic having some underwhelming changes throughout the break. Well, I think GamerLegion were on par, if not lower, in terms of how impressed we were with the names they were able to pick up. It was, and they were the last team to really find any players, right? Yeah. So for GamerLegion to get some victories throughout Cologne is fantastic. If they pick up a win against Cloud9, I don't care about the Buster factor, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
That's impressive. This is playoffs.
This is 4 playoffs of IEM Cologne, especially on your first. That would be an incredible achievement.
And that's when I say perpetually slept on, right? Because I'm one of these people who look at this team and I don't understand how they're getting so much out of the pieces. So might have to start looking towards the coach Ash here and saying, hey, what are you feeding these kids?
Yeah, Brit to be proud for something for us Brits to be proud of with Ash in the ranks. And here comes the slithery snake out of the tube. In straight to the head of Volt. He's not going to be feeling too good about that one. isak should be in the right position. Oh, good grief. They are stomaching a few unnecessary casualties. And it's a shame that it's the rifles, because that's fallen into enemy hands now. Hobbit, he's going to be scarpering, or rather spraying. He's not trying to run away just yet.
Nealon needs to get on out of dodge here. Doesn't want to go down with the bomb.
Bro. He's been heard.
To the loving embrace of Mr. Perfecto here.
Hey guys, got you at Mac 10 as well. Lovely job.
That is insane. They get an AK, a Galil, and a MAC-10. Everything that they could wield, especially because we're on Inferno here.
and they spent the whole minute in the wrong bomb site, stacked up in a pool.
And with all the casualties that GamerLegion have just stomached here, they might have to operate with a couple of MAC-10s and maybe something pacier, or go for Galils, AKs without util behind it. Let's see how they make this by work. A Galil for acoR, one for isak. Util is there. They have 4 mollies to help try and get this banana control. And this is where we'll turn our attention early here. A bit of a classic on Inferno. Now, we might even dig into some of the details of, here we go, of how we're looking for this control. So both teams exchanging smokes and neither team wanting to brave the wall that they've just applied. One deep banana out of the CTs, a half-wall smoke back from GamerLegion. And you can see nobody wanting to get involved here. So as they start to fade, a flash at the ready. Nealon and Keo's ready to fade through this. You love a bit of logs, you love a bit of broom. First step of banana control taken.
They used a second of their smokes for that long obscure, so there are still 3 people planted from Cloud9 towards A. And now Shiro, with a glass cannon, mind you, yeah, not going to be sticking around.
Now, Yanko, once upon a time, would say, and this is in the old meta of Counter-Strike, would just say, well, if you get banana control for free like this, just execute in towards the side. And I think GamerLegion might stick to the KISS method here.
Keeping it simple. We'll see if they feel stupid. Ooh. Don't forget that Shiro walk. Now, they've gone for a front sight smoke. Perfecto doesn't have answers for the potential slip right now. He's elevated over to confirm no one. It has.
They have no help on B. Just Perfecto and Shiro. There's no rotation available, Alex.
This really would have to be Perfecto. And yeah, Shiro and that AWP. They're so hesitant, though. Still, the rotation's not come through, but the commitment hasn't either. That's Shiro now, just playing around the Molotov.
One's
and there it is. 2 frags through, and GamerLegion will take a 3rd.
Oh, well, yeah. The KISS method worked, and a quick one on the forehead of both Shiro and Perfecto there. You get to sit and watch for 40 seconds while Hobbit, Electronic, and Buster hold on to what they have over towards the A bomb site here in GamerLegion. Stroll a banana, get control, nothing jarring, not forced back, not even licked up with damage. Execute in, take their time. You were getting a little bit worried, but apparently no sweat on their brow. They knew they had it every day of the week.
Yeah, I think the reason that my concerns were growing was just the fact that you'd given them multiple opportunities to push for info
right,
on A,
and nothing happened.
And they didn't.
Especially when you look at the pistol round, where Cloud9 played forward in window room.
Yeah.
Right, they were looking in second mid, and this time around it was, well, we just think GamerLegion are going to execute late, and they were right. But if you're going to play that type of Counter-Strike, your individuals need to multi-kill. We know how difficult it is on a map like Inferno to go for retakes. So if you're not even trading out 1 for 1 here, which we can see, 1 for Shiro, but nothing for Perfecto, and not even a CT smoke necessary. Tidy work, as Cloud9 will be able to invest again. And sure, a lot of that has been facilitated by the extra weaponry they picked up in round number 2.
5.5 grand, and he's still rocking a MAC-10.
3-man B opening here. Electronic, Perfecto, and Hobbit to try and get this control, knowing that it can't be consecutive rounds where they just allow GamerLegion to have this for free. But Nealon, likely expecting this, right? Might want to thrust his players forward up mid faster, and with those flashes, very telling. Top mid space taken. Good response.
There's no territory here for the CTs, and maybe if they overlook Hobbit here as he's tucked in. Criminally undercleared corner. Keo's ratting the smoke, and
Chiro's coming over.
Re-smoke middle. Hobbit's tucked in. He is going to be overlooked, and a powerful contribution which puts a rifle into his hands. Molly out, flash to support and bail him out. Oh, in the flames, he licks up isak to 28. Nice work from Hobbit considering. Shiro, it's his turn. No, that does not look pretty. Not only does he swing through, caught out by the timing of isak, but the flash is there as well. Oh, just spotting out. Electronic reveals he has rotated Speedway. Perfecto, the other B player, charging through, and wow, I say that. Electronic just goes and takes the fight arch. Nealon's good for it. isak as well. GamerLegion to find another T round. This is promising, and you know, when you lose your in-game leader, a very prominent in-game leader everyone's talking about,
and you're in the potential for MVP of the major, star rifler,
right? You lose them both, and then you are in one best-of-3 distance away from the playoffs of IEM Cologne. I mean, you've beaten the Mongols, which was a team that were impressing us, highly impressing us.
Cadian even said, hey, I had to trash talk to beat them.
Yes.
That's how much respect we had for them. They were playing good CS.
And GamerLegion survived that. That's the first round of the lower bracket. Then they were up against a Fnatic, which, again, we were singing the praises of. It seemed like a team that were, you know, underestimated after the roster change on paper.
And in good form.
And in good form.
Looking good.
Very
Dexter
good.
calling up a good game. Also having some moments fragging. You had Roy looking like it was back in deathmatch. Mezzi returned to the star fragger role. Everything was looking good.
Which, when you've said all of that, Volt's statement as to his reasoning for the change, saying that GamerLegion had a better plan for the future.
Yeah, well, you look at ITB.
Well,
that makes an awful lot of sense,
not
doesn't
look
it?
at ITB, to be honest with you.
But yeah, and it came through this man right here, the coach on the screen. This is who Volt was talking to before making that decision of where he wanted to end up.
Okay.
So if Ash, the coach, wants to catch them all in all the big events, all the big playoffs, what do you need here? Just 12 more rounds. You pick up map number 1 and it'll be all yours. And at the moment, Claire pointed this out on the desk. We are yet to see Cloud9 play Inferno. And that isn't even a conversation with Axel or not. We just, since out of the break, they have not played this in an official capacity just yet. It's been all the fun maps. It's been the Holy Trinity, a bit of Vertigo, a bit of a new burst, a bit of Ancient.
Okay.
Like it new is the new Cloud9, new look, but also a new map for them.
And not the first time they've been throwing this smoke from spawn.
Deep mid smoke, and that is actually meant to stall out the fast mid play, which is how they found that gap in the previous. No extinguish necessary. Kios, is he going to be cleared? Electronic just around the corner, a perfect weapon for the job.
Uh-oh. Electronic. Flattened! Kios double! Strafes into Perfecto as well. A quick sequence that puts already Cloud9 on the back foot. Hobbit squinting at his monitor, responsible for a... I mean, he needs a multi-kill. Look at the mollies. Look at the mollies! He has to extinguish just to survive. And now they know they've got him trapped. Yep, that hurts. Nade on the side.
Yeah, it's on the money, isn't it? I'm curious what we missed there for them not to be considering logs at all. That just looked way too easy for Kios, didn't it? Electronic not prepared. He was still worried about deep banana.
Yeah.
There was a broom molly in play, so he knew that nobody should have been up close and
I guess,
personal.
yeah, you could easily explain that away by there being a communication or an understanding that logs should be mollied, will be mollied.
Yeah.
And Electronic just assumed it would be clear.
So this
But
one,
yeah.
another one that's going to fall at the wayside here. Cloud9 looking to save, hold on to what they've invested, and this is the flattest of starts. A 5-0 GamerLegion. Respect underdog.
Yeah, and we haven't even needed acoR yet, you know? I think it's makes a lot of sense to consider acoR a win condition in a game like this, with the stakes this high, with the experience he has. But right now, it's a full team effort. Good contributions. I think Kios in particular, after that double sequence and being flashed out mid to get that party started in the previous, this is already great signs that the Belgians pulling his weight.
Yeah, and we are going to have to look and see who's going to start to become some of the bigger fraggers for this roster, right? Because the way that I would frame it is you essentially have 4 more supportive elements in this team, right? An in-game leader and 3 players who they definitely weren't the stars. This is such a fantastic start, and they haven't even had to wince just yet. This should be smiles from ear to ear. Things are going very well.
Can you think of examples of teams that got to the highest highs of Counter-Strike without having a star?
Oof.
Like, think about Virtus Pro. Did they? I mean,
well, like this is where for me, like I have to start thinking quite different, because for me, I know that Neo wasn't a star player in CSGO, but Neo will always be a star Counter-Strike player. That's the problem I have. So I have to start drawing these distinctions.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me a moment. I'll write down a couple of names. I'll have a little bit of a think.
But just something to think about. Food for thought.
Well, it's definitely changed the recipe, because over the years, sometimes you only needed like 2 stars, and then needed 3, and then you only needed now, we need 4.
But if we have 5 role players who are all playing their role, I mean...
And playing some good team Counter-Strike and not checking the stats page.
Yeah. Well,
pretty good.
Let's find out if this continues for GL.
Well, something that has helped Cloud9 out in some of their matches here is there's an opener. Not too shabby for Shiro. Opens first blood onto Isaac. Has been these bullshit bailout rounds where, like, Shiro's winning around with a CZ and a 1-on-2 and Anubis on the B side, or they pick something up with some Tech 9s on a T side of a map, they explode. This one will not be one of those because they have the full buy, but keep that in mind because Cloud9 have needed those type of plays, and that comes down to individuals.
So you've got the information. There's nothing top mid. Shiro and Hobbit have got nothing to report. The adjustment from Electronic and Perfecto, with that taken into account, is Park Perfecto back new box. Electronic coffins on the jiggle. Now they're coming. Need a reaction. Strikes nice from Electronic. Perfecto still has vision. And the rotation from Hobbit, the flash, they'll peek off of that. They swing through. It hits great on the money, but doesn't finish his meal. Volt's alive. Only just... Oh my god, he gets another one.
They know Hobbit's close as well. The flash assist.
Oh, still up for debate, very much so. Smoke is fading. Vault finally finished off, but there's the trade from Nealon. And they're making a round out of this. The rotation is through. Shiro occupies the ruins with the zoom banger. acoR has his posted on that position. Now Shiro reveals the AWP's location. Smokes are present. How does Shiro and Buster go about getting back in? This crossfire actively held now by Nealon. I like that. Oh, doesn't like that at all. No one hitting their shots on the first engagement. Nealon dead and gone. Hit shot! He gets some acoR! One bullet and another round in the bank.
Oh, I can't quite believe that.
They lined up for him.
I cannot quite believe that.
And that's the only way he wins that round, Chad, because what happens when he pulls the trigger and kills one?
He's jumping away, getting hunted down, running. Damn.
Oh. Let's see that one again. Barrel spotted, bang.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't even know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Oh, baby, that's going to put
That's
big
the best
smiles.
kind of surprise.
Oh, man. Oh, acoR was ready for that as well. There was an aggressive AWP move through the smoke. Now, they've been conditioning for that for many a round. That's the first time Shiro's had a go, and he doesn't get anything done.
I want to point this out just quickly. Cloud9 are playing like a team who are playing with a standard and haven't played an official on Inferno yet. So everything going to plan here for GamerLegion.
Bloody hell. Hobbit's done well there. Oh, he's going to burn. He's all right. He's all right. On the bridge, though. Yeah. Oh. Could be dead. Nealon tags him up on the boards, but Hobbit's found a nice escape route. Oh, or not. Isak, actually. Yeah. Profits from that delay of the Nealon tags and finds Hobbit in the apartment on the retreat.
Alex, we've had 7 rounds of play so far.
Yeah.
Well, hasn't come to its conclusion just yet, but we're into our 7th round of play. And Cloud9 have managed opening kills in 6 of them.
Sorry? You said Cloud9 have achieved opening kills in 6 of them.
Well, if I can maths correct, no, 5 of them. 5 of them. Regardless, 5 still pretty damn good.
Well, we saw Maui showing that their 4v5 percentage had been going up. Oh, Cloud9 right now have not been able to close it off. And this one, however, an exception.
Finally, right?
Yeah,
Unless.
It's about time. Unless acoR feels clutchy. This is the perfect angle for this kind of clear, though. He baits the AWP. acoR very stylish with the AWP. He gets his eye to the scope, but not his finger to the trigger. There's Cloud9 off at the starting blocks.
Okay, something to work with here. That's about building off the back of that. So, as we just highlighted, inaccurately, then accurately, they've been doing a good job with the opening picks on the CT side. They just need to be able to start converting some of these rounds. And if I'm GamerLegion, I'm probably returning to the second letter of the alphabet to knock on that door, because B has been a bit of a leaky ship. They don't look very put together on their B defense at the moment.
When it's the Na'Vi duo as well, though. You know, Electronic and Perfecto, they've likely got some residual synergy, you'd think.
You would hope.
Molly, decision to be made. Shiro opts to support him, and that's the bodyguard. Electronic activates into Kios, trying to punish the AWPer.
Wasted util there, you can see. Under pressure, a smoke dropped a molly into it, so $600 down the drain.
Do you think that kind of implies that there's 3B? Volt's going to like, yeah, go looking. This is cool. This is a nice intuition-driven play from Volt.
Perfecto's aware of the gap here. You can see him acknowledging it from CT spawn.
Hobbit 2. And by cutting noise, this is going to start sowing those seeds of doubt. Are they regrouping? Are we about to be executed upon?
That's a fake. That's completely faked him out here.
Oh, that's smart.
Hobbit's not looking.
Yeah, they overlooked it. They think that they've gotten some information, but it's misinformation. And now from behind, he sees the back of their head. And Volt successfully opens up the sight. Perfecto going to be caught out by the pace of this, and they're playing some real solid Counter-Strike. GamerLegion, they should have the sight, but Buster still resides within that pit.
Bomb down, 40 seconds on the clock now.
Hard retake, very hard retake, especially because they have to clear through Arch. You know, it was occupied. Isak, oh no, he's made a meal of it. Buster finds a second, and now advantage Cloud9 for this retake. Not going to be easy to hold on to. acoR needs to rack up a couple on the AWP as he looks away. He's worried about middle. They're charging him. They're isolating this duel. Nealon can't do anything, and now acoR's trapped. He's dead, and Cloud9 retakes successfully. Buster to thank for that one.
Yeah, and they have to thank their lucky stars that they got him standing in right now, because that was a fantastic job over towards Pit, just staying alive. We talk about this position of being a spot where you can multi-frag from, mow them down, but delaying just as powerful. Pit, you're in earshot of the site. You can see everything. They can't move as freely as they traditionally would, and Buster not cleared out. If I'm Ash, I'm a little bit upset with that. We just got to flush the rat out of the system here, and then we could turn our attention to some of these extremities.
And I'll bet if they hit scoreboard and they saw axel was still alive, they might have cleared Pit. You know, maybe not making that association, because we know axel is a headshot machine from that Pit position. It's where you put your stars, your star rifles. And yet, Buster, he converts the round despite GamerLegion. I felt like they did all of the hard part there. They managed to really get in Cloud9's head. That
long smoke was great. That was really nice.
This is how it started as well, bro. Let's not forget, you know, another opening from, I was about to say Navi, from Cloud9. God's sake.
We didn't have any woes with that the other day, did we?
It's just seeing Electronic in a new name is going to take me at least a minute or two.
Well, he looks like a new man in this Cloud9 jersey.
He does. He's more talkative as well. He's got, you know.
Happy to chat to us in English as well, which is great. So, okay, Cloud9 starting to make a game of this one. Back into the guns, GamerLegion with that plan. Can afford once more. But under control. This time it's just going to be mollies exchanged. Car molly, half-wall molly, and there you go. We'll extinguish to establish Kios's space. Shiro under the porch, flashed off the line. acoR at the ready. Head-to-head here. Was it his leg?
Did he?
Yeah, saw the leg.
So Shiro knows. And acoR, a dead man. Shiro. High-flying performance from him. We've seen the stats. He is keeping exactly the same Shiro we know and love in the server, despite the obstacles in front of them.
Yeah, weird smoke here. It has just hit the leg, so going to try and use this to lurk through. I like this. Heads up play from kios with a situation that's just presented itself in a gap manifested they didn't know existed. He's going to catch Shiro. Shiro has no idea.
Oh, brilliant work again from kios. As he's given him something, just huge distraction. Now isak looks to activate. Molly forces
here.
Buster away. He has to smoke it, so they know there's at least one pit. Hobbit on the mini pit though. Spotted now. Nice execution onto kios. Takes his head clean off from the mini pit. The rotations are coming through.
They delayed him.
GamerLegion are being held at the door. And that's the last of their nades. It's just the AKs now. Smokes are fading. Doubling up in pit. Buster to take that first contact, hoping they overlook Hobbit. This is very clever, playing that advantage.
In pit.
He's not there. Well, they work it out and procedurally access the site. Bomb needs to be planted. Never mind, the frags are coming through. Vault will close. And look at the vibe. Nealon very happy with his troops there.
Massive round to win, right? That's a huge round right there. And their patience. The fact they're just happy to sit and wait. We're talking about getting stalled out, bottlenecked. I'm saying, yeah, they know Hobbit's already in pit. It was still good for one more kill, sure, but they were always going to be aware. Where could Hobbit have gotten off to?
Right.
Ash, smiling. You can't get enough of this. I feel like in that previous, they probably should have had it. So to snatch this one away, to put the question mark for a Cloud9 who are using their second timeout here, and maybe one necessary just to chill out, just to cool your beans a bit, because this is how it started. Spots more than enough leg.
You know, we really should have...
Kios, that gap.
We really should have taken that result against the Mongols and realized it was on Inferno. They beat Mongols. The map, bearing in mind, and Mongols dominate on Inferno. They beat top teams. 16-8, they beat the Mongols on this map. That speaks volumes about the comfort this team has.
Well, this is where people start attributing to that to maybe the mental collapse of the Mongols, right?
That's fair.
And hey, yeah, I think you could make those arguments here. You have GamerLegion. 3 of these players win a bloody major grand final. And kios just made a player of someone who has been in a major grand final. Another opener for kios. Banana's his domain right now.
Keep jumping into my jaws. I welcome it. And Shiro, he punishes Volt walking out of the boiler. Dink was hit, so Shiro going to be off kilter. Oh, and Hobbit, yeah, tagged up through the boards on that spam. I think it was Nealon just throwing a couple of bullets down range with the Galil.
I just execute B again. This is what they were having success with in the early stages. Unless Cloud9 go for a full gamble and pull all their pieces over, you have Buster and Boiler. That might make Shiro a little bit more willing to cheat over. They've blocked already, so if you do use the smokes like this and they go, okay, well that's 2 smokes B, that's 3 smokes B, it might think that they can just execute in because now they can't be blocked with the gray screen. So the earlier you use it, especially if you're stacking that site, it could come back to help out Cloud9 here. Your biggest issue if you're Shiro is if they go for standard site mollies, you'd have triple box as well as oranges. He's actually played towards emo, so he's just going to have to lie in wait here.
Oh, they mollied him out.
What?
Shiro mollied emo.
Okay, I thought it was just going to be a triple and oranges. All right.
Different variation from GL. Nealon, good onto the trade. Kios is gone, but he's already contributed. Not ready for the boost. Great work from Hobbit, but with that 3 HP, he does get caught.
Buster going to give this one a go. At least he's responding.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. He's been playing this game for many a year, has Buster. There's no doubt he'll be able to piece together the puzzle that is this clutch. Yes, there's a kit present, so that 5-second defuse is going to be attainable, albeit a bit of a jog away.
Buster doesn't strike me as a player who's in a hurry here.
No, but he is still going to be having that first contact, I would imagine, from acoR. isak just going to be playing for that bomb, and even as I say that, Buster doesn't seem to be continuing to close that gap.
Yeah, still got that James School of thought in him, doesn't he? Thinking, I need to save this, or the boss man's going to be unhappy with me, so just hanging around for a little bit of financial damage. That's one of the keys of a player like Buster. He's been in a lot of games that have gone deep as isak falls, and maybe everybody with the bomb, through the molly, through the flames. acoR holds on to the AWP. GamerLegion are up to 8. This is stunning, right? I think that is the key here with looking at this roster. Just absolutely stunning to see this performance coming out today.
And this Cloud9 in Cologne, they've already been making big names sweat, in the same way GamerLegion have, in the absence of acoR, and yet still, you know, 9 fell by the wayside. I'm sure that was a disheartening loss for the Polish side.
And Monty as well.
And Monty as well in particular.
I think at least 3 of Kios's openings have been on electronic. At least 3.
At least.
And he's got 4 now.
He's walking on in. Nealon, he's already forced that smoke out of their very limited resources. Smoke on the coffins, flashes through, but no need to commit. The bomb is now scooped up from T-stairs and even boosting to try and see if they can find a nice surprise onto Perfecto. Well, you talked about Shiro CZ. Yeah, if they were going to really break GamerLegion's soul, they would be around like this.
Yeah, this would have to be one of those bailout rounds, right? And this is where somebody needs to step up within the chaos. But if I'm GamerLegion, just keep it simple. We've spoken about that throughout. You have the util, you have the space. There are too many unknowns over towards A right now. They could be in boiler, they could be pushed up halls, right? There's this space that you haven't been caretaking for now. At least what you know is everybody's in banana and we can group up and go together.
No one back site. They'll have time to get across. Perfecto's deagle noted. Side successfully. Perfecto, the only one to be making his presence known. And yeah, oh, Shiro, he is going to punish their overlook of the fade of the smoke.
Who's up next?
If they can keep disrupting that plant, you'd have something to say, but oh, yeah, Perfecto, he's even hitting shots onto acoR. isak saves them.
Just not enough threats being able to chime him in together there, right? Shiro gets the bomb down. You know that's going to remove a player while he has to punch in the digits. Hobbit was still deep down banana. Buster, as I mentioned, not the type of player who's just going to run in there willy-nilly. It really was just Perfecto to try and make something of Shiro's frag. 9 already for GamerLegion here today. Feels like we're still dreaming here from the major. Down a couple of players of it. Cleared eventually. All right, well, you get a cheeky kill. It doesn't really account for a lot. The money for GamerLegion isn't out of control considering the scoreline. So if we wanted to look at that as a positive for Cloud9, we could. But they're the ones who need to get something going here. We're talking 2 rounds. They were back-to-back. Max loss bonus in play, and Spirits looking like they're an all-time high for GamerLegion.
Yeah, right. It's a contagious atmosphere right now. You can see that there's just a general...
They do have one thing going for them. There's one thing. There is no expectation on that team. Absolutely none. Whereas Cloud9 come in, if we were to look at the polar opposites of the spectrum out of the player break, right, out of the tournament break, looking at all the roster changes, looking at everything that could have come your way, Cloud9 with acoR was #1. It may actually be one of the greatest roster changes of all time in all Counter-Strike history. We have to wait and see how that plays out, but with who they've gotten, I'm excited. And I think everyone else in the Counter-Strike world is also excited.
There is not a single Counter-Strike fan that doesn't look at that roster on paper and get excited. There is not. I would like to meet them.
And then you have GamerLegion, a team that I think everybody believes overperformed in there in Paris.
Sure.
They didn't get comparable replacements.
Sure.
And yet they're currently up 9-2 against Cloud9 in a match that gets them into the Cathedral of Counter-Strike here in Cologne.
acoR, he's been having a good start. Delayed by the incendiary towards the jump up. Slows their crawl towards the apartments. It's not occupied. 3-man setup. perfecto playing anti on B. But there's a lot of ground to cover before that becomes a factor.
It's just they've never had banana control, and every time they fought for it, they've lost it. I understand why they don't, but it just makes them susceptible to so many finishes here.
So smoke's invested. Long obscured. Shiro unable to contribute immediately. Fault clears boiler, flashes are high, and Hobbit and Buster have the crossfire for now. Fault edges through. Shiro not going to be falling foul to any funny business there.
That helps Nealon understand there's likely still 3 players towards A here, or at least the AWPer isn't in float and rotation.
They go for a flash that does completely force Shiro back, so now there is only 2. They could smoke off the arch, progressing in, tighten up the crossfire. Oh, and Hobbit's exposed. Drops in. Audible. Isak knows. Mini pit now for Hobbit. acoR called upon. Posts up on short, hopes that Hobbit goes looking, but with 20 seconds, Chad, I'm not sure best case here.
Yeah, maybe a save. You don't have a whole lot of cash here. We just discussed that, so a good one. Cloud9 with those 2 kills have done enough. Kiers was just selling a fake on over towards B. That's why we haven't seen Electronic and perfecto move just yet. So they kept the boots planted as they wanted to, but it came down to trying to exploit that long space, right? It was both Volt and Nealon who died over towards long. It was key for them that they needed that territory to be able to finish the round. So there you go. Just back to a 6-round game. The best Cloud9 can get in this half is 6. So 3 more, and that will mean 4 on the trot on the way out the door into that 2-minute break. So that was a whole lot more simple.
Speaking of simple.
He had a beast mode performance against
Didn't he? I wanted to
FaZe.
see, yeah.
He went 40 and 19, someone said. I'd have to verify that, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 40 and 19, plus 21 on overpass.
Plus 26 for the series. Perfecto.
Great flash.
Oh, wow. Set up for success, and acoR's saved by the flash for only a moment. Perfecto throws aggression towards GamerLegion's attack, and they are left blindsided and off kilter.
That's one way to get to the bottom of banana. Just been smoked off. He can hang around, he can backpedal. Or he can just chill, because 2 players to the good and looking confident now.
Well, moves like that don't happen when you're not confident. Perfecto started this round with 4 frags. He's found himself 2 extras. Buster losing that shot, and with Shiro missing that shot, there is a conversation now to be had. Uncharacteristic, sure, but he won't make that same mistake again. He's still alive and kicking. Turns the flash, closing the gap, and Hobbit the first contact. Double out of Hobnob. Oh! Volt? No way. He gets 2 out of that, and he knows where Hobbit is. The molly might at least confirm he's still on top of the box. There it is. Confirmation of reposition. Hobbit gets himself a triple. And Cloud9, yeah, I mean, they needed that one, considering how it started. The fact that it gets that close is just a sequence of unfortunate events.
And this is now GamerLegion broken here late within this half. So that 6 for Cloud9 is still a possibility, especially as we see GamerLegion turn to what should be just a bit of an eco here. Some investments into their favorite pistol, with the loss bonus coming into the last round of the first half of 2,400. So only 1 Tech9 and a couple of flashes. They really need to set Volt up banana here. If he finds success, maybe there's a conversation.
Oh, that nade found success. I'll tell you that much. Here, Electronic is called up. Says Perfecto, get ready. And indeed, the spray, the bullets, the shrapnel, it's all connected nicely as they get themselves a couple of extra frags.
All right, well, this is almost classic Cloud9 on Inferno. You know, just get 6 rounds on the CT side. Just bring it back a little bit late. It's all good. Get the pistol round. A couple of Shiro pop-off moments. We'll make it if we try. I think that was a timeout called. It was. Ash taking the 2nd timeout for GamerLegion here within this first half of play. And he's just quickly perusing the purchases. What do we got? What are we lacking? And what's worked for us so far? acoR's has had not too many issues going for that banana control. It's something that he's helped afford his team in several occasions here. We've been talking about his prowess in the openers. Nealon hasn't bought, so if there's any utility that Ash wants that's lacking, he could buy in here with a Galil or something lesser to make sure that they can accommodate that. But they're talking here as a unit, so if a player has a good spawn, I know it's Inferno, it's not going to be as impactful as other maps. Maybe they want to operate with one of their special moves if someone feels that they're able to get it. This is where you like your players to be able to chip it. Oh, they haven't been doing this halls, or they haven't been applying pressure here. I can get away with this space. And that helps you as an in-game leader decide, hey, can we maybe find some wiggle room in the middle of this game? But double orbs now on the CT side. Perfecto and Shiro to try and close things down with the big greens. Should be quite direct towards A here. They're not vying for any banana control. Crossfire top mid, Buster and Shiro about to be tested.
Has to be one hell of a flash. Perfect. Shiro doesn't need him because Buster's done it all. He gets 2. He's trapped short, but there's a lot of support here, and GamerLegion's 10th. Doesn't look like it's happening here in the first half unless Volt gets more of that. Clears out Buster, tags up Shiro longside. Smoke will delay.
Perfecto ditched his AWP.
Yeah, quickly. Not interested, and that's a fight that leaves them both wounded. acoR will go wide to finish the job, and costly exchange. But yeah, the game is back on. You've still got a minute. And
Electronic hasn't pushed down banana, so that does become a possibility, or at least a thought in their mind. acoR continuing on this wrap.
It looks like acoR's going to be the next contact point. Hobbit just averted his gaze. Trade required. Does pluck him out of the air before he descends. Oh, Shiro, lovely. Not falling for the strafe. Puts isak into a one-on-one while traded. Electronic to B player. isak to climb up clutch for the 10th.
This is the problem for Electronic here. isak could have gotten off to anywhere right now. He's just responded. The bomb's down. isak doesn't know it. He's worried about Electronic being close.
Oh, gets the jewel. Electronic gets the info though, and now isak perhaps going to start overthinking as Electronic just hides out in Moto. Information confirmed, and still hasn't hit the taps. He's still got half a magazine. Electronic hard target to hit. Oh, and isak does hit that tiny pixel of Electronic. It's 10-5. GamerLegion here to play today, and playoffs on the line.
What is your calling?
The Group A lower bracket final. 2 teams, 1 spot in the playoffs in the Cathedral of Counter-Strike. It's been a long path to get to this point. Fresh off the break, big changes and expectations subverted as GamerLegion are rocking 10, Cloud9 boasting only 5. In our first look of this new Cloud9 on Inferno. Got Chatty B with me to break it all down. Ancient next, that's Cloud9's pick. And we're into the pistol.
Aggression
5 sets
here.
of Kevlar,
Yeah,
they're
push down
running.
mid.
Oh my god, this is going to be a full head-on collision. It's a car crash live, and Volt's the one to roll the heads. 2 down on the clicks. Backspin response from Perfecto and Buster. They just turned tail. They just decided that's enough, and there was a whole lot more to be done. Now Isak's got a world of hurt ahead of him. 3 charging in. What have you got for us, Isak? Headshot. Make it 2. 3 from Isak. Laughing all the way to an 11th.
Well, everybody has had their moment here today for GamerLegion, and we're on the map number 1. A monster moment. That is huge. He wasn't even aiming at the first kill he got. And look at Perfecto, distraught.
They know it feels a whole lot different if they win that pistol. And the recovery they had here. Let's watch this one again. So Volt double, Shiro back, and then this second shot. Oh, gross. Isak steps up, and GamerLegion, they must be beaming.
Yeah, that's a smile that'll melt your heart.
Yeah, ear to ear, man. That must feel so good. It could feel horrible in a second, though, because Electronic has run down. With Hobbit's help, the B-site should be open for business. If Volt's been spotted, he's going to be smoked off. Double smoke short, doesn't matter. Oh, drive-by from Electronic on the MP9.
There's some of that classic bailout bullshit I was talking about. A forced by a banana rush in your face. This is the deal with the Cloud9 roster. It hasn't been the prettiest in terms of the team approach, but they're individuals. You put in the right place, you wind them up, you let them go, they're going to slap you in the face. And this is recovering as Shiro. He just spotted the barrel. That's another kill, another M4 scooped up, and a recovery here for Cloud9 in round number 2 of the second half.
Yeah, can we cut to Perfecto now? You know, I reckon he's probably going to be a little bit more happy after the... What a juxtaposition from the pistol to the second round, you'd think. GamerLegion, they probably thought they just had a bit more time, and yeah, Isak's gone as well. 2 rivals, and now they find their... Yeah, okay. Ooh, God, I love Counter-Strike, and I do love the human component. You can just see that they're laughing it off. They're shrugging it off.
Yeah, because if I'm making Cloud9 yell at me and I'm GamerLegion, who at the moment probably have no pressure, I've gone, well, I guess they're a little bit worried, guys. They're celebrating a second round win versus us.
That's the framing. That is exactly the framing. You know, if you needed to rebuild the troops and morale, I don't think they need to. It looked like they were all fine. I don't know how you don't get a little upset. I'd be pretty salty after that one.
Oh, good. Who wants to own them this round?
Yeah.
Geos, you got a deal. We're going to give it a crack.
Mate.
Volt, apparently your time on the Fnatic Academy roster, you go over to ITV, you're just comfortable.
Oh, we're so blind. What? He's dead. 30 bullets later, Geos is dead. That's how good the flash was. Nealon, he is being pre-aimed by Shiro off this boost, so just playing the edge of the smoke. Shiro's so aware and alert. And there it is, perfectly strafing into Shiro's crosshair.
Okay, well, they are still waltzing into 2 players here, Alex.
He's got a gap.
A huge gap.
A monstrous gap that Shiro has overlooked, and it leads to 1 back. Isak will go down.
What about Volt?
Well, over the top. Electronic vaults onto Volt.
Without the pole.
Not this time.
Wait, he's Romanian.
Ah, yes. Close.
But no cigar. But definitely a border, as we just have acoR here. I can't wait for the CS2. This is going to be the only time I talk about CS2. I can't wait for the CS2 Inferno just to see what Ruins actually looks like, because in some of those pictures that have been, it looks like it's ridiculous.
It looks insane.
It actually looks like the cathedral here.
Yeah, like a full church. Chapel, maybe. A chapel.
Okay, well, there you have it. 11-7, the scoreline now. 4 rounds the difference. Cloud9. We'll be seeing GamerLegion down to just an eco here. So ever closer we will draw. There'll be another little farm round available here for Shiro with this MAC-10 in play. GamerLegion, what is your full eco approach? You're going to set up a tank somewhere? You're going to have these 5 USPs pointed in the same direction? Or we're just going to divide and conquer. Looks like everybody wants to start over towards A here. Might just be fast, a bit of a rumble down the guts. But no, Nealon getting the hair out of his eyes. Happy to take a bit of a pause here because GamerLegion will reflect in that first half. Their T half, great work. I don't know how many other ways to frame it, but they were looking very put together. And we're getting scrimmy top mid. Multiple casualties hit the deck. There is a TK in the mix.
Vault was doing too well. Kios wants to be at the top of the score. And on your head, son. Down he goes. Snade finishes the job and secures an 8. So from a 10-5 half, we find ourselves at 11-8. Cloud9 not winning the pistol.
Yeah, that TK from Kios, it is only a little bit amount of money. You know, you're not losing as much as you used to once upon a time, but it is still going to hurt in terms of what utility he's going to be able to buy here. So when you get into a first gun round, especially after a second round loss, you are going to be having a couple of omissions here, and the biggest being HEs, I would say, for softening up.
Look at there's a very apparent call from Cloud9 off this rip. 4, going up second mid.
They really want to deny the banana info, right? So an extinguish to give off the impression they're in banana, or at least can take that control. The smoke so they cannot see at all towards the top. So that's 2 smokes burnt in banana, and as you mentioned, they are already pressing the issue over towards A. This is going to be a bit more direct here, and it might not be the right call. They've just been blocked over towards the end of apartments by a well-timed smoke, and now they might just opt to play out the round. It looked like it was going to be Poppy, but now it's going to cancel.
But yeah, I want to know what the electronic utility belt's going to be used for. Is it to fake, or is the bomb going to join him? Okay, so 3 are posted in apps, undetected.
I think you want to apply a bit of pressure here to try and get one of these players in rotation, even if it's just CT spawn, right? Yeah. So you can isolate Isak and Volt, who are currentently very tucked in towards the site here.
And Perfecto's just called like top B clear.
Which means they very likely have to play 2B unless it's just an AWPer. That'd be the only way, or you're crazy.
So there's the util from Electronic and a movement from Buster and a headshot from Shiro. 2 in that pit side. Nice hold from Isak. He is going to be tested by a whole lot more though, with nades and a pre-fire coming his way. It's perfect from Shiro on the rifle as well. Shiro pulling Cloud9 into a gap closing round. There's nothing for acoR here.
And this is the attitude. Keep it on Shiro right now. You see a lot of talking going on there. We very rarely get to hear from him. Right, back in the day, I remember talking to Nafni. He said he used to translate the HLTV confirmed episodes for Shiro to be able to hear what's going on.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that stopped after they listened to us for a few episodes.
but sweet nonetheless.
Yeah, and then you look at Shiro as this, young AWPer. He's just this kid that's coming out of nowhere, considered one of the absolute best players in the world. But one of the differences between him and axel, who's not here, is Shiro broke out of that mold. He understood when he, as such the good player he is, needs to get the job done. He was always fiery. We know he contributed in the mid rounds, and his attitude looks like it's even more on display. Him and Electronic.
They really want to take these rifles away. Mobbit goes down after that damage was inflicted. Got tagged down to 1 at the end of that.
Wait, did he died? He died at the ruins entrance.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he had like 3 HP, and then he got tagged to 1.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, turns out Inferno bomb kind of crazy, and so is that. A 3rd timeout called. So this is Ash on the mic, and it's it's not like it's not panic stations, but they did just.
I think it is actually.
Okay.
And the reason I think it is because that's the 3rd timeout, and they did the majority of the work on their T side. And right now, I'm just looking at the scores on the doors. Kios 7, acoR 7, Nealon 8. I know Kios got a TK in the mix right there.
Does that meet your expectations in terms of new teams, new leaders? You expect them to have more struggles on the T or CT?
That's the thing, right? If they had strong individuals, if I was looking to this team and I was like, yeah, I think like pound for pound, these players are all very good, then I would expect them to have good CT sides because it's more focused on your area of the map. Right. Sure, you still work as a team, but when kills are coming your way, that's where you get more multi-kill potential. So I would want to say with most new rosters, you would expect them to be better on the CT sides.
That would be my assumption.
Yeah, Hugo was talking about some stats yesterday with Cologne so far, and I don't know if he combined the planes or not, but he was saying that the maps are T-sided here during Cologne. So it is a bit quizzical. It could be to do with a lot more factors than just the teams in the mix here. But for Nealon, we know and we heard over there at EG, like he ran a pretty decent ship in terms of their approach. Like somebody like Carrigan is praising your defaults. That's a really good sign.
Kios Good angle. Not a good result. And now Neil and Molotov, double Molotov out. Yeah, he'll do well to catch one, but that's one of the rifles gone as well. acoR reveals his, spamming the smoke. Bomb should be planted any moment. Perfecto gets that one done. And yeah, at this point, I guess you just want to try and preserve acoR's M4. Ideally, you leave with a couple of those AKs if you can.
Yeah, just with this kit on Volt, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, there was a chance. Maybe they exit and he goes for a ninja defuse here. I don't think so, but he is hanging around like that's on the cards.
Don't know if Cloud9 are going to be falling foul.
He is going for it. He's going for it. He might just want to take more casualties with him with the bomb.
Yeah, still being held by
Hold up a
Perfecto.
second.
Still being held by Perfecto. Shiro. Not on his watch. Good awareness from Shiro. I love the attempt from Volt, though.
Okay, well, very cheeky from Volt.
Yeah, man.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he loses nothing, and he stood to gain something.
It would have been top page, front page.
Yeah,
front
top
page. Reddit.
Yeah. Maybe that's going to change its name to a letter as well.
Yeah. Okay. Ah.
R.
What
Oh,
about
actually, yeah, R/R.
Actually, yeah, I guess it already is. All right, all right, all right.
Well, a single round now. It was a 5-round gap.
Yeah, it closed very quickly, didn't it?
It did, and especially when you win the pistol, that's probably why they were so, you know, loud about it, because it felt like we've really been given a gift by isak and his 3K.
3 players here. GamerLegion is their follow-through for this control. Well, they do have full banana control right now. keo's with a spam through, not finding anything, completely blind. Room smoke as well, going to make things a little bit more curious here. But Nealon and keo's are clearing it, so high pressure on Volt and isak right now.
Oh, they're really applying so much pressure. Still no contact. Oh, off the flash. Electronic was flash. I think he just second-guessed it. Volt dead. Big frag back, and that smoke does give him a one-way to work with. isak. Staring over that smoke. It's
Hobbit's
been
hearing
audible.
this.
Yeah, Hobbit will relay the information. Pit went looking. Nealon. Oh, just as Electronic pulled his crosshair away, he deletes him. A laser beam out of that M4, but they are going back to B. keo's got nothing to report. Yeah, is A. isak needs help. And he doesn't. Actually, he takes both of them down. He's still alive. Buster should at least get this one. Damage was inflicted. Nade from the grave. isak leaves with 3.
Yeah, he's dead now. Perfecto, he's all gone, mate. They cleaned him out. That was the AWP from the long side. And guess what? You're not long for this world either. keo's the knife in the back, and here he is. Thank you very much, they say. The second round for GamerLegion. And isak again. The impact in both of the CT rounds is thanks to the Swede.
That's a good point as well, yeah. Every single one. I'm being a bit dramatic with that. The 2 of them. But every single CT round so far going isak's 3K contribution. They'll see this one again. So Neil, and this is the laser beam moment, just as Electronic had looked away.
Yeah, just. We're on board with Electronic.
And then the nade from the grave for his 3rd. Wish my teammates sounded that
Every
enthusiastic.
round we won, right?
Wow.
Going to reinforce a lot of positivity here. Well, isak did say they got the players they wanted.
Yeah, which is quite the statement when no one else in the community thought they did.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I had the full context for that one. We maybe wait to an eco before we bring this one up.
Let's see what happens with keo's. There's a venture here. What? That's audible. They know. He finds it. Perfecto punishes. acoR at least averts from a certain loss. And just, oh, spots out Volt bait. Oh, an isak switch. Perfect onto Hobbit's head. Buster's there as well. They want to fight him. And they will. isak doing it all for GamerLegion right now.
Yeah, this is more like the team we saw in that first half. And driven through one man here, he's going to keep pushing, calling the bluff. He might even get 2 more kills. This is marvelous.
He is playing his game, his way, and it's destroying Cloud9. isak, another 3 for another CT round. Quite the trend, if you can keep that going. 9 kills in your 3 CT rounds your team has managed to convert. I say that, Electronic is still in the clutch. He hasn't got the bomb. They might have access or at least vision on it now. Just position so they can trade off of one another. Do not allow Electronic to isolate these duels. Baits the AWP shot, and there's Nealon. Lovely work, loud, raw. 3 more required from GamerLegion.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get that statement correct. Maybe not the players they wanted. Let me read it out here. Question, how involved were you guys in finding replacements? Did you trial many people? It was mostly Ash fixing the process, but he kept us informed. He talked with everyone. We talked with a bunch of players, but most of them turned us down for other offers, or they just said no, or they had something else going on. It was a big mess overall, but I would say we are happy with the players we got.
Okay, well that's important context.
And the mood reflects that.
And the mood certainly does. So, talking of mood, Cloud9 burning their final timeout, I'd suggest their mood is waning.
Considering this resurgence they've had, right? It has been the middle portion of this first map of play here where they've started to come alive. Shiro's played some impact in that. A force by Rush Up Banana definitely assisted in this campaign by bottoming out the funds here for GamerLegion. But now the money's back, and now that isak is handing out 3Ks like they're free, Cloud9 have found themselves back in hot water. They have been able to purchase back. Shiro with the AWP in hand. acoR feeling aggressive, floating with the fight towards mid. Perfecto softened up and held at bay by the flames. A responsibility on Perfecto's shoulders here to try and get this banana control, and that's where Keo's had a great showing in that first half against Electronic in the head-to-head.
I mean, yeah, they still beat Keo's and found the opening frag on banana in the previous round. It didn't stop the isak conversion, though.
You might be hearing some cheers down the hall. That is the mainstream going on right now, brought to you by Bardoff and Hawker. They're covering off a progression game. Get you into the semi or the quarterfinals. I suppose we could frame it with seeding, but it's G2 versus Vitality. Okay, that's the first time we've seen a little bit of tilt coming out of Electronic.
It didn't sound like a call, did it?
No, he wasn't happy, especially if he's taken everything off of the mouse right there. Yeah, so the first time we've really seen Cloud9 starting to show a little bit of Na'Vi.
Okay, well, he's got his troops lined up. He's getting what he's asked for. And now they're asking for a round. Good work from Volt. On the boost, contributes, takes Electronic out, playing around the smoke. Nealon yet to reveal himself, and now he can disrupt further. Perfecto, an important frag. He's gotten him a chance, a little bit of a chance to perhaps extend play, get that bomb down, the rest disconnected. Only Volt waits for the team.
Using their smoke against them here.
Exposed on the fountain. Can't believe he didn't finish him off. It's long range up against an AWP. I don't blame isak for being cautious. He's brought Shiro very low. Tagged him down to 35. Doesn't want to give him a way back in. Confirmed Shiro still occupying that angle. Perfecto to be hunted now. acoR should be set for the clear here. Is Perfecto wise to that potential? He's actually dropped off. And acoR now with 1. It all falls to Shiro. Tagged up before, but in that low HP.
Frag for isak, but he did the most impressive thing within that round, just keeping Shiro pinned to that position. Did not allow the kill to come through, but also continued to get that information. He's posted on me, he's posted on me, he's focused on me. acoR could slip in, not worrying about the AWP.
Dumb question. Did Shiro fire a shot, or did isak just kind of think it could have been Shiro planting? You know, like, because it's long range, you're tapping someone on fountain, the bomb goes down, and then he starts playing super passive.
I think he would have picked up confirmation that it was Shiro, but also the fact that CT wasn't smoked.
Shiro was still alive.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
sure.
he had a pretty good idea that you're tussling with the AWP, and when you're in a number disadvantage post plant, you always like to get a pick to make your life a whole lot easier.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And this is a bit of a set piece out of these CTs. They smoke, they molly, they spray, and they are victorious onto Electronic. More salt in the wound if he's already tilted. Now, whoa, hold on, Nealon. He's in trouble, needs a smoke. Teammate provides it.
Now, there's nothing coming. I think one of the bigger questions about this team for Cloud9, and I know that axar's not here, so it's difficult for us to really weigh things up of how they're going to perform when they have their full 5, was, well, without Nafany here, who's going to be the guy just to run in and really throw away his life? Well, it was pointed towards Electronic. He likes to have that play style. And the next up, we go, okay, maybe Hobbit.
Right.
So maybe Electronic getting a little bit frustrated here that there aren't enough players willing to put their body on the line as much as they should to secure this territory or these frags.
acoR flashed off, but still connects the shot onto Shiro.
Shiro's going to be asking himself, what else do we have to do? He was blind.
Full blind. But places his crosshair perfectly, and Hobbit Punished for having a go.
Just keep
it's a
coming one
cursed
at a
orb.
time.
Pick it up again if you dare. And the rest, that's a bit of a crazy one from acoR. He just goes looking for answers, but not with too much delicacy.
Nah, and look at this crossfire on A.
You're
Isak
not getting
and Volt
through
should
that.
have this.
You shouldn't be getting through that.
20 seconds.
I mean, Perfecto, he's actually gone all the way around, right? So there could be a little
They
something
know
to be
it's A.
said. If Buster could find Isak, but Crossfire's good. Rotations through. Perfecto not clearing. Balcony, and that is another GamerLegion. One single round from taking their map pick and being a map away from the playoffs. Cloud9 standing in their way, but this is seriously impressive.
I think the only people you would have surveyed that may have been a possibility could have been people from GamerLegion, right? And that's with some crazy belief in the changes that they had just made. Again, this is just wild scenes here. I did not think we would be uttering the phrase one map away and GamerLegion from the playoffs. That is insane, and you just have to put respect on the name. Maybe not the most impressive individuals in the team, but you can't argue with the results here. And there it is, that tilt on full display.
Yeah, some fresh air, banana, a bit of water. It's going to be on the menu maybe in just one round's time. Look at the buy. Ugh.
And I do love what you pointed out, that they're getting this done without acoR. Like, sure, he has 11 kills, that's fine. It's Isak and Volt who are the ones at the tippy top of the scoreboard. I think Nealon did a great job in that first half of calling them into pole position, and now it's just about one more to close. 5 more kills, and then we move on over to map number 2 of Ancient.
Is that audible? Doesn't seem so. Perfecto's holding it. This is the best chance for Cloud9 have had in some time. Shiro, good onto Nealon. Holding firm as acoR doesn't quite finish off onto Hobbit.
You should call this one off if you're GamerLegion before you even start to look in here. You don't have the finances to go for this type of round. You get caught off guard a little bit there. Shiro does a great job of entering in. Shiro entering, right? Reflect on the conversation I had
what
just
you were
before.
just saying,
yeah.
exactly.
So, and at this point, by any means necessary, is Cloud9's modus operandi. You saw that statement from Perfecto, right? Like, the obstacles. This is the thing. This is a roster, maybe not its complete form, but still enough players in this server to be scared of.
Right, and that's Perfecto's quote with the knowledge that he doesn't have the full 5, in the sense that he says, we want to show great results from the start. Obstacles don't matter.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're setting them that for themselves. They're not coming here with excuses.
Or feeling like they've just been given an excuse.
Yeah, because that's when you're over, well, I wouldn't say overhyped, when you're as hyped as much as you were coming in, there is a lot of pressure, right? You have the spotlight on you here, and to be able to embrace it, and that means they understand this Goldilocks mix that they have as well.
Yeah, it's just right. It is just right, the porridge.
It's just unfortunate that acoR can't be here, and I think there's a lot of people who are still holding hope that if Cloud9 can make the playoffs, and they're going to have to do it the hard way, that acoR can get here in time. Now, I have a different opinion on that, but that's here nor there as far as this match is concerned.
Oh! What a shot! Holy moly! Adjusting to the boost, and he ain't done yet.
That's
Shiro coming for you, and acoR gets greedy. You know he was feeling himself after that first shot.
And can you blame him?
Yeah, I can't, but it does mean that an AWP has fallen into enemy hands as well as an M4.
Perfecto, Hobbit, and Buster alive, and I am not full with an awful lot of confidence here at Cloud9. This might be it for Inferno.
I mean, acoR just has one round, you know, in terms of if this leads to the conversion. It was only really necessary to have the hero moment in this round 27. They come knocking on B. Hobbit's lining up utility. There's a conversation to be had. Now, they've got 3 smokes, so let's see if this is the full commitment. Looks like it. Volt's been set up for success here. If acoR can just disrupt. Front sight smoke obscures Volt's view from the booth. We'll have to reposition. Plays it out. Smokes it. Pushing through the smoke is Nealon. A 3v2.
They know there's 2 on B now.
Can Cloud9 really recover? Extend play. Perfecto through the smoke. Oh, and acoR is good for it. Only Buster can save them now. Otherwise, Inferno is going GamerLegion's way. And it's all done. That is their map, baby. 1 away from the playoffs of IEM Cologne. So much doubt, so much uncertainty. Your roster is picked limb from all of the talent you showed in Paris. And here in Cologne, they still stand tall. A map to the good against Cloud9.